the Friends a few moments ago. According to some new figures, if you take them this way, we're drinking less, we're boozing less. The statistics out this morning seem to show that the number of people drinking, and those who are drinking frequently, has continued to decline. Lucy Rocker from Sheffield gave up drinking in 2011, has subsequently been publishing books, best-selling books, on the subject of, well, of not drinking, really. Lucy, what do you make of these figures, first of all?
Well, I mean, it's a positive thing that we're seeing a decrease in the number of people drinking, but what the figures don't tell us is the people who are still drinking, how much are they drinking and how much damage is being caused by that drinking. For instance, between 2002 and 2012, there was the alcohol-related hospital admissions in the UK doubled. So this kind of report doesn't highlight the sort of damage that we are seeing on a massive scale.
So how do you square these two versions of what's going on?
I think that probably there's the people who have stopped drinking is those who didn't have much of an issue with alcohol, who probably, could take it or leave it, had a couple of glasses of wine a week or whatever. Maybe it's those people. The people who are binge drinking, who are alcohol dependent, who've got issues with alcohol, are definitely drinking more and causing a lot of harm through that drinking.
So it's not good news, really, is it? What about your own story? Just remind us why you gave up.
Well, I was a binge drinker, heavy drinker for 20 years, and really just got fed up with the negative impact that was having on me and my health and my life and my family. And after I woke up in hospital at 3 o'clock one morning with no memory of how I got there, decided that was enough, and I just stopped. So that was April 2011, and I've not had a drink since then.
Did you stop without any assistance?
I didn't go to AA or anything like that, but I did read a lot of books about alcohol misuse, and I had a bit of cognitive behavioural therapy to try and boost my self-esteem and my confidence, really, which is two of the main reasons why I drank, I think. And then basically, I just sort of threw myself into being healthy and did it that way.
How are you different now?
Well, I don't suffer from depression and anxiety attacks at all, and I used to quite frequently. I'm a much better parent. I'm far more patient. My self-confidence, my self-esteem is just hugely improved, because I did used to drink far too much and have embarrassing and shameful incidents occur as a result, and I don't have that anymore. So generally I'm just a much calmer, happier person.
Are you more boring?
I don't think I'm more boring, no, because when I drank I turned into a bit of a liability, and there's nothing sort of fun about somebody who gets so drunk they pass out or fall over or has arguments with people.
Did people tell you at the time, something's wrong with you, Lucy, do something?
Not many people did, but I think people who drink too much tend to naturally gravitate towards other heavy drinkers. So when you are amongst people who are like yourself, if you have got a problem, it doesn't necessarily leap out at you. So for years I fooled myself into thinking I was okay, when really I was drinking a bottle of wine a night, most nights, which is, hugely over the government guidelines and very damaging to my health.
But that wouldn't end you up being hospitalised, would it?
No, I mean, that night when I ended up in hospital, I think I just kind of hit the self-destruct button, and I was in a bad place. I was depressed. But I didn't have an off switch when I drank, so I only intended to have a couple of glasses of wine, but once I'd opened the first bottle, as always happened, I couldn't stop, and I ended up going to the shop and buying 2 more bottles of wine, because they had a buy one get one free offer on, and drank all 3.
And did you, having given up, which sounds as if it was quite simple for you and much easier than some people find it, and you've kept off it ever since, did people kind of resent that you'd given up? Were people disappointed? Were they cross almost?
I think some people feel a little bit like you're not going to be any fun anymore, and it also highlights their drinking. It's, when I was a drinker, if I was at a dinner party or whatever and I got sat next to somebody who didn't drink and my heart would sink, I'd think, oh God, I'm stuck next to this boring person all night. But generally, I've really sort of been quite selfish, I suppose, about it. This is about me, it's about my health, my happiness, and really at the end of the day I'm not bothered what other people think.
There's something very odd about your life, though, isn't there? Because we only ever meet to talk about your drinking and to talk about drinking, and you're now full-time working on the subject of not drinking. Yeah. Drinking's even more obsessive in your life than it was before.
I just felt very passionate that there wasn't a place to go for particularly women who might not consider themselves to be an alcoholic, but who definitely had an alcohol dependency problem. So I set up a website website, sobereasters.com, last year, and we've now got nearly 20,000 members. And I've also started writing books. The Sober Revolution, which you mentioned, is now a bestseller on Amazon. So,
about to go into print.
It's going into the bookshops on January the 2nd. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's become a bit of a passion of mine, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, it is ironic, isn't it, that you spend half your life being drunk and the rest of your life describing other people's drinking.
It is a bit, but it gives me, I'm well placed to talk about it. You know, I've got a lot of experience, and I think that helps people. It's more effective coming from somebody who's been there, done it, worn the T-shirt, than somebody, sort of a medical professional perhaps, who's just kind of giving, instructions or information about not drinking.
And do you think, it's Christmas time coming up, presumably everybody asks you, do you want a drink? Have a sherry now.
Nobody asks me, because
do you wear the T-shirt saying, don't ask me?
I run the website called Sober Easter, so I think, I kind of advertise the fact that
you're not too keen on it, but at Christmas we could have a little drink, can't we?
Well, to me, if I have a little drink, I would just carry on having drinks and become horribly drunk and ruin everybody's good time. So for me, it's definitely preferable, and I have a much better time not drinking, so that's the way I choose to do it.
Lucy, thanks ever so much for joining us. Have a lovely Christmas.
Yeah, you too, thanks.
Books come out in January.